Well, this month marks the third anniversary of the coup that brought down former Thai Prime Minister Thaksin Shinawatra. And while there has been a new government in place, the political uncertainty in Thailand remains. This is a country still in transition. Most recently in April, Thai Prime Minister Abhisit declared a state of emergency after attempts to topple its government. He's in town this week to meet with investors, hoping to reassure them about investing in Thailand. And he joins us right now. The Prime Minister joining me from the New York Stock Exchange, where he just rang the closing bell. Mr. Prime Minister, so nice to have you on the program. Thanks for spending the time with us today.
It's a pleasure.
Can you make the case for investment in Thailand right now?
Yes, I think the Thai economy is recovering. We have put in place stimulus packages which are on track, on time, and we're investing not just in jobs but also increasing the competitiveness of the economy. Anybody who's familiar with Thailand knows that we have a number of strong points, particularly a strong agricultural and service sector, and we're also seeing plans for expansion in a number of our industries.
And I know part of the expansion is happening in infrastructure. The government is going to be pumping in billions of dollars to stimulate the economy, spending on infrastructure mainly. Can you tell us how that money will be allocated?
Yes, a lion's share of that will go into water resources and also the transport and communications network. Some of it will go to upgrading our health and education facilities, and also contributions to the creative economy, the tourism sector, and also some of local development, particularly down in the southern provinces as well.
What kind of policies do you think are needed to encourage investment into Thailand and to get the economy moving even farther along?
Well, the massive investment program is designed to crowd in more private investment. We think recovery will be robust when this plan is implemented, and it is being implemented as of the end of this month. At the same time, we continue to seek fresh opportunities for businesses. Thailand has always been a very open country, open economy, welcomes foreign investment, and will look for further liberalization and overcome obstacles to investment. For instance, we'll work on facilitation. We're going to establish a one-stop center to service investors, for instance. And recently, the World Bank has ranked us 12 in the world in terms of the ease of doing business, which is second in ASEAN and third in Asia.
So how do you calm people down who are still worried about political uncertainty? We know that there is still some uncertainty in the country. You declared a state of emergency after protesters rallied and called for your resignation. How are you navigating this?
Well, except for those 2 days where in the end we swiftly moved in to restore order, there has been relative calm. Obviously, in a democracy, there will be differences, there will be divisions. People will demonstrate, and they can do that because they can exercise their constitutional rights. But you will see that the last 9 months, none of this has distracted us from a very strong economic program. We know what we need to do to create jobs, to get recovery on track, and to make sure that the Thai economy moves forward. And I'm sure the majority of Thais are anxious that we move forward. At the same time, we address the concerns of the protesters. There are still plans for reconciliation through constitutional amendments and political reform. So I think the longer we follow these policies, the more stable the environment will become.
Prime Minister Abhisit, can you give us a sense of the trade situation between Thailand and the United States? Of course, you've been negotiating with the U.S. on a free trade agreement. Washington walked away after that coup in September of 2006. What kind of indications are you getting in terms of getting those talks back on track? And how worried are you about any trade wars going on with recent changes in terms of restrictions on products coming in?
First of all, I think whether the bilateral U.S.-Thai trade talks will resume will depend quite a bit on the authority that the administration will have. Now, we are certainly open to the idea. As part of ASEAN, the 10 Southeast Asian nations, this year we are carrying on with the signing of various agreements with India, with Korea, with China and Japan. So we are certainly committed to further liberalization. When I represented ASEAN at the London summit, and I will do so at Pittsburgh, we will also do what we can to encourage the Doha round of talks to be concluded. So all in all, we are very much supportive of a swifter movement towards freer trade. We have been worried all along that with the recession there will be more protectionist stance taken by a number of countries. I know that there have been some measures taken, but on the whole I hope that in Pittsburgh the leaders will confirm that we will not resort to protectionism and will not start a trade war.
And can you characterize the Southeast Asia region right now? A lot of money, I think, wants to be moving there, but people are unsure as far as stability as it relates to economic growth.
Well, although the region is diverse, one of the key things that we are doing is to integrate the economy of the 10 Southeast Asian nations. And by 2015, we will have a single market, an economic community. That market will have a population of nearly 600 million people with substantial purchasing power. I think everybody recognizes that Asia continues to be a very powerful engine of growth for the global economy. It's expected to lead the global economy onto recovery, and that it will continue to grow, and ASEAN is very much part of that.
All right, we will leave it there. My apologies, Mr. Prime Minister, for pronouncing your name incorrectly earlier. We so appreciate your time tonight. Thanks for being with us.
You're welcome.
We appreciate it. Prime Minister Abhisit Vejjajiva, Prime Minister of Thailand.